everyone, I'm Kat and welcome to my channel, Naturally Beautiful Girl. So today I am finally bringing you my overview of PYT Beauty. PYT Beauty is a brand that I think is really launched in the year 2018, and they first started off with an eyeshadow palette, then they released a blush and a highlighter, then there was an eyebrow pencil, then there was a mascara, and now there's also a lipstick and a concealer. So they have been dropping a ton of products. They're carried at Creative Beauty. Not all the products are there, but a lot of them are. Also, Ulta carries quite a few of their products online as well, which is really exciting. I wish Ulta had them in store, but they are online from Ulta, and PYT Beauty has their own website as well. So all the products can definitely be purchased from the PYT Beauty website. And I am not sponsored. I bought all these products with my own money. I wasn't sent any of them. Just to let you guys know, even if I am sent products, I will give you my honest opinion because that is what you come here for, and I honestly could not get on camera and lie about products. My moral compass would start going bananas if I did that. Whatever you hear me say about a product is my true, honest opinion. The one thing I like about PYT Beauty is they do have a little bit of a lower price point. A lot of the products are more affordably priced than a lot of other brands in non-toxic beauty. There are some compromises though, like for instance their eyeshadow palette, and I believe their blush and highlighter do contain talc. Their talc has been tested to confirm that it is asbestos free. Also, their products are cruelty free, but they're not all vegan because some do contain carmine. And their products are made in China, so that's also a consideration. Some people are okay with that, some people aren't. I've gotten questions about that quite a bit, and really, it depends on your thoughts on it. I would prefer if they're not made in China. I just sometimes have concerns about the quality control of products made in China. Also issues with potential cross-contamination, but you know, that could happen anywhere. That could happen if it was manufactured here in the States or in Europe, so it's all just kind of depends on what you think about it. But I'm going to go ahead and just launch right into giving you my opinion on these different products. I've tried out all the products from PYT Beauty, at least so far I have. They keep launching so many products so quickly, that's why this video has been delayed, because then I ended up picking more products up during Black Friday and I wanted to try those out so I could really give you my opinion. And in this video, I am going to show you me applying and demoing all the products so you can see the application and also, you know, hear my thoughts on it. So I'm just gonna go in the order that I applied products. And I have to say I have some that I really like. I really only have one that I really don't like, and then a couple that are just kind of, meh, I think there are better things out there. The first product I'm going to talk about is their All or Nothing Concealer. And the price of this concealer is $18, and it's a double-ended concealer, so it's like a concealer pencil, and you can twist it up here, and then it retracts, and then on the other end of this concealer there is a little brush that you can use to blend out the concealer. As you can see in the demo, I didn't use the brush, and that is because I tried the brush and found that blending it out with my fingers works better. I'm a huge fan of using my fingers to blend out cream products. I've talked about this a little bit before, but I think the warmth from your fingers can really help to warm up cream products and get them blended out more easily. That's why I didn't use the brush. I just found my fingers worked better. And the shade I have in this concealer is the shade Fair Neutral. I'll swatch it for you here. And here's one of the things that really impressed me about the brand. There are 11 concealer shades. Yes, you heard me, 11. And I have been racking my brain trying to think of another brand in non-toxic beauty that has 11 concealer shades. And that's depressing. There should be way more than 11 because, you know, there are obviously way more than 11 skin tones, but there are actually 11 shades to choose from. There are like 2 fair shades. There's the one I have, which is Fair Neutral, but there's also a Fair Pink. And then I am looking on their website, and there does look to be like 3-ish shades that are pretty deep. There's one that's entitled Dark with Cool Undertones, Dark with Neutral Undertones, and Dark with Warm Undertones. And then there's of course 2 medium shades, actually three medium shades, and then 3 light shades. So it's not the best, but compared to what else is out there, I think it's really good. And I have to say, I'm kind of shocked by how much I like this concealer. It's not as full coverage as something like the Fit Glow Conceal Plus Concealer, nor is it as full coverage as like my Hint Beauty Duet Concealer, but it's really the first concealer I have found that I can use under my eyes and on acne spots. Yes, you heard me, I can use it on both. And I think part of the reason is this shade is really good because it's not too pink and it's not too orange. It's very much a neutral shade and I can use it under my eyes, and it's not really brightening, but it matches my skin tone really well, so it just conceals my dark circles. And then I can use it on acne spots too because it matches my skin tone. And I found the best way to use it under my eyes is to apply a swipe of it, blend it out with my finger, and then set it with my 14E setting powder. I do need to set this concealer, but I don't have to bake it. If I set it, I can get it to stay in place pretty well. There might be a small bit of creasing, but honestly, if it does crease at all, I've been able to just kind of take my finger and tap the creases out and get it to look good. And it creases a lot less than a lot of other concealers I have tried. And one of the things that I really do like about this as well is I feel like this is the kind of product that you could throw in your purse. I am one of those people that doesn't carry a ton of makeup in my purse. Surprisingly, I normally have a lipstick. Like that's my kind of go-to, sometimes blotting paper, but I'm not like a huge makeup in my purse kind of person. But if you are like me and you're going through your day and you look in the mirror and you're like, wow, that zit was not there when I left the house in the morning. I wish I had some concealer to conceal it. This would be the perfect product to have on hand for that because you could just whip it out, just dab a little bit on, blend it out. You could use your finger or the brush that's attached and go. And this product applies really well on top of foundation, on top of powder. It just works really well. I really like it. Like I keep reaching for it. Obviously, if I want like really full coverage, especially like under my eyes, I don't reach for this product. I'll use my Fit Glow Conceal Plus Concealer, but if I want a little bit lighter, not as full coverage look, this is great. Also, the holidays are coming up. I'm going to be doing some traveling. And this is probably going to be the concealer that I'm going to be taking with me to travel because it's all in one. It's also just in very convenient packaging for travel. It's not a liquid, so I don't have to put it in my liquids bag. The only con I have is the scent. It does have a little bit of a scent. It's got a little bit of a perfumey scent. I wish it was kind of more on the unscented side, but other than that, I really do like it. And if you're having a problem finding a concealer shade that works for you, I would definitely check this because there are more shade options than we normally have. So the next product I am going to talk about is the blush, their blush. And I have the Heartbeat blush in the shade Exhale. And it is this kind of light dusty shade of pink. It's got a little peachiness to it, but it's quite a nice shade. And I'm gonna swatch it on my hand. You can kind of see it. I can never get the swatch to show up as well as it does on my cheeks. I don't know why. It's just one of those blushes that swatches not that great, but it looks much better on the cheeks. And this blush costs $22 and there are 3 shades of it. The one I have is a purely matte shade. They do have 2 with shimmer in it, which we're gonna get to my thoughts on their shimmer in a little bit, but this matte one is definitely a solid choice. I really like the way it builds up in color and intensity on my cheek. I find it really easy to blend out and it stays on my cheek throughout the day. Like it doesn't walk off on me, it doesn't fade. Like it's a very long lasting blush. I have oily skin and a lot of blushes will kind of leave my cheeks throughout the day. So this one staying on is quite impressive. I am normally a cream blush girl. I love cream blushes. It's kind of been my obsession recently, but this blush is so good that it's actually made me want to use a powdered blush as in this one. So I have been reaching for it even though I still have my love for cream blushes. I will reach for this one, and it's not just for me testing it for my channel because for a while I'll force myself to use a product because I'm testing it out, but I've had this one for so long and I keep reaching for it over and over again, and it's not because I've tested it because I already know my opinion on it. It's because I actually genuinely like it and enjoy reaching for it. So definitely a great one to check out. Although I have to say, I think if you have a deeper skin tone, much deeper than light, the shade wouldn't work that well on you. But if you are on the fairer side, I think it's really beautiful. I have it on today. It's just a nice pink that's not too peach, it's not too cool, it's just like the perfect pink. I also have their highlighter, and I have their upgrade highlighter in the shade Courtside, and it is very white. Like it is a very white highlighter. And I'm going to say this with a bit of a caveat because I've not looked at or been able to swatch the other two highlighters. I have not been to my Credo recently enough for me to swatch them. I've only played around with this one, and this is the one product where I'm just like, don't do it, don't get it. I am wearing it on my cheeks today. When I look at it in the monitor, it looks like super glowy, and I think it looks better on camera and in the monitor than it does in real life. In real life, it is making me want to scream. It is so glittery and chunky. I have not tried a highlighter this bad ever. In my entire history of wearing makeup, I have never encountered a worse highlighter because I'd rather have one that didn't really highlight than this. This looks like I freaking took glitter and like went down my cheek with like straight glitter. It reminds me of the glitter like top coat. It's basically the glitter top coat in the Beauty Counter Romantic eyeshadow palette, that like white super shimmery shade. It's basically that, but this is supposed to be a highlighter. So you can see, instead of it looking like a really smooth just like highlight, if you are in person with me right now, you can actually see the little individual flecks of glitter. And the problem is too, because it's so glittery, that as soon as you dip your brush in it, just like glitter kind of goes everywhere, and you can end up with a lot of fallout like on your lower part of your cheek too because of that, because it's a glittery consistency. And you're not putting it down on top of a primer, you're just putting it on your cheeks where you're supposed to. But yeah, it might look okay on camera, but I'm looking in my mirror in this compact here, and it is horrible. And because it is so glittery, like it accentuates like every little pore, because the glitter like gets kind of like in any divot of skin that you have. Like if there's any imperfection, this just amplifies it. Just pass on this one. Like this is the one product where I'm just like, nope, this is not good. Just keep going. Definitely not a cat approved product. I don't know if the other shades are better. Like I said, this one is the shade Courtside. I haven't used the other two. If you have used the other two shades, let us know in the comment section down below. Are they glittery? Are they chunky? Because that is the question I have about the two other blush shades that have shimmer in them too. I haven't swatched those either. I have no idea if they are kind of glittery, chunky, or how they perform. I know the matte one is really good, but the other ones, I don't know either. So let us know if you know. Next, I'm going to move on to their brow pencil. And this is their, what is it called? Their POV brow pencil. The brow pencil shade I have is the shade Medium Copper, which sounds a lot more red than it actually is, because my hair is not really red and it matches pretty well, I feel like, with my brows. And it's got this more squared off brow tip. Let's see, hopefully you can kind of see that. And then on the other end, it does have a spoolie. I feel like PYT Beauty is really into double-ended product. This brow pencil costs $16 and there are 5 shades in it. Once again, not amazing, but compared to most other products out there, it's a better shade range than most. So once again, if you're having a little bit of a difficult time finding a brow pencil that will match your hair color, I would check this one out because I feel like this could be a good option. Okay, so I've been using mostly brow gels for quite a while because my brows are pretty full. This guy over here is my problematic brow. It's got like a little sparse spot kind of like right there where the arch is. But otherwise, my brows are pretty full. I had to kind of readjust back to using a pencil. And honestly, I really like this. It's definitely more of a bold brow look that I get with this. The formula is pretty waxy, but what I like about that is that it stays in place very well. Like it doesn't move around on me throughout the day. Even if I get sweaty, my face gets oily, my brows stay in place. It doesn't do anything to hold your brow hairs in place. It just, the product itself stays where you put it down. But even though it's waxy, I feel like it is easy to apply. So it's like a really good formula actually. And I honestly am really liking it. Like I said, I do still love to just use brow gels in my brows, but this one has gotten me back into using brow pencils. So it definitely is a good product. One that I would recommend if you're looking for a brow pencil, and I think the price is pretty reasonable too. I know the one from Found is cheaper, but this one's a good one. I've come to like the squared off shape for kind of defining like under my brows, because you can get a really nice kind of crisp line under your brows if you want to add a lot of definition. I think that this is a good brow pencil to do that. This is actually the first product I've tried out from PYT Beauty, and I have a full review on this already, so I'm gonna link that up above. So if you want kind of a more detailed overview of this palette, you can go there. I have swatches. I show you an eye look using this palette. This is the PYT Beauty No BS eyeshadow palette. It does contain 8 shades, 4 matte, 4 shimmer, and a huge mirror. This is my first experience with the brand, and honestly, my thoughts on this eyeshadow palette haven't changed. I don't really like it. I don't really reach for it, and I did my eyeshadow using this palette today, and I hadn't used it in a little while because I hadn't been reaching for it, and when I tried it today to apply my eyeshadow, I was like, oh yeah, I remember why I don't like it. It's $28, which isn't bad. It's not vegan. This one definitely does contain carmine in it. And I guess my main thing is there are just so many other eyeshadow palettes that perform better than this one. Yes, a number of them are more expensive, but it's kind of like I'd rather just pay a little bit more and get something better. So the Aether Beauty, I definitely recommend that one over this one. The Aether Beauty Rose Quartz palette, that one's vegan as well. The Beauty Counter Romantic eyeshadow palette, I recommend that one. I also am really hardcore falling in love with the Clove and Hallow Sunrise eyeshadow palette. It's their new recently released eyeshadow palette. That one I believe is $32. If you use my affiliate discount for that one, that would take 15% off. So that would bring it down to pretty much the same price as this one actually. So there's that with the Clove and Hallow one. That one only has 6 shades. But the thing with all 3 of those palettes is the shadows are just so much better. They're so much more pigmented. They're easier to work with. I find that these shadows get really muddy on me because I have over here in my far outside corner this kind of what looks like in the pan like a raspberry shade, like more of a berry shade, and it just turns brown. And I feel like whenever I do an eye look with this palette, everything just gets really muddied. I don't like the mattes at all. I find them very difficult to work with. I find them powdery, not pigmented enough. They don't blend easily. Is it horrible? No, I have tried worse. Like the shimmers are nice. You can work with the matte shades and get them to work for you, but I've always felt like the day to night theme of this palette is a misnomer. Like I don't think you can get that intense of eye looks with it. I mean, yeah, you could take this shade here I have and go all the way across the eye with it. When I think of a nighttime look, I just think of like such intense pigmentation, such intense shimmer, and not this kind of like a little bit of muddiness that I get happening. I just really enjoy eyeshadow, and I would rather have Mother Bear's handmade eyeshadows. I'd rather have my Clove and Hallow eyeshadow palette, rather have the Aether Beauty, rather have the Beauty Counter. When I have other palettes that are just better, I'd rather reach for them. So I also have tried out the PYT Beauty Primed and Ready Mascara. And this is a double-ended mascara, very reminiscent of the Honest Beauty mascara. It's got a primer on one end and a mascara on the other. Unlike the Honest Beauty, the primer does not have any fibers in it. It's just a purely clear primer. Honestly, I can't tell a bit of difference when I use the primer versus when I don't. With the Honest Beauty with the fibers, because it's laying down actual fibers in your eyebrows, it adds more length, like physical length to your eyelashes, but also volume as well. So that primer does something. This primer, I don't really think it does anything. I one day wore, actually in my first impressions of this, I used the primer on one eye and not on the other. Couldn't tell a bit of difference. This mascara costs $20, and here's where I'm gonna get into this. That is more expensive than the Honest Beauty, and the Honest Beauty performs better, looks better on me. I think it's more dramatic. If I had to pick between the two, I would 100% recommend the Honest Beauty. Things that are good about this one, it doesn't smudge, doesn't flake, doesn't budge on me. Like it does stay in place, which is good. We all want our mascara to stay on our eyelashes and not go anywhere else, but so does the Honest Beauty. And the Honest Beauty is more lengthening and more volumizing on me. And I did do a double blind test with one of my friends. I wore the PYT Beauty mascara one day and I wore the Honest Beauty. I didn't tell her which one was which, and I just asked her like, the first day I was like, oh, what do you think of my eyelashes? And I was wearing this one. And she was like, oh, I like the Honest Beauty one better. Like this one just doesn't look as good. The next day I wore the Honest Beauty one and I didn't tell her I was wearing the Honest Beauty. I was like, oh, what do you think of my lashes today? And she's like, this is so much better. It looks so much better than it did yesterday. And yeah, so without even knowing, she picked the Honest Beauty one over this one in terms of how my eyelashes look. So it's not just me that thinks that, other people around me do as well. So I guess what I'm saying is if you have to pick one, I would pick the Honest Beauty. This one is lengthening. I do get a fair amount of length with this mascara. I guess the main issue I have is it gets very spidery because there's not any volumizing, but it's still not as lengthening as the Honest Beauty. So it's just subpar, but at least it doesn't smudge and flake. So there's that going for it. And then the final product is their PYT Beauty Strike Twice Lip Duo. And I have the shade here in After Party, which I have on my lips. There are 5 shades of the lipstick and it costs, or the lip duo, and it costs $18. And I'm gonna start by saying that on the website, they describe the shade After Party as like a mauve rose. It's like a deep kind of vampy berry. I don't know how it got the name mauve rose. I feel like it was very much a misnomer. I was trying to go for more of a nude, like everyday pink, but then I got this. So, you know, it is what it is. So here's my thoughts on it. First of all, I feel a desperate need to wear a lip liner with this. With regards to whether I wear just the lipstick and lip gloss, or just the lip gloss, I really find a need to wear a lip liner with this product. First of all, because the color is really deep, which makes applying it difficult. And also, well, the lip gloss is slippery and really pigmented. Actually, I should show you the pigmentation of the lip gloss. Like, it's a surprising amount of pigmentation. Like, it's kind of more of a liquid lipstick. Like, it's definitely a gloss, but it's very pigmented. It's not at all sheer. And the lipstick is very slippery as well. So it makes applying it difficult, and also it does kind of want to move outside of the lines a bit, which, you know, isn't great. And having a lip liner definitely does help. I like using my Red Apple lipstick lip liner, but it is a slippery product. The lipstick is actually marketed as a matte lipstick, which is not at all true. It's very, very creamy. And I have to say, the lipstick, the lip gloss, the lipstick and lip gloss, all 3 combinations are very comfortable because they're very creamy and very hydrating. So if you like really creamy products, these could be for you. My issue is they transfer a lot because they're so creamy and they slide around a bit, which makes things difficult. Obviously, when you put the lip gloss on top of the lipstick, it makes it even more slippery. That's what I have on right now, but it does give such a nice like glow to the inner lip. And when you wear just the lipstick, it does transfer. But here's what impressed me about this is, even though this lipstick was transferring all over the place, like I was drinking coffee and I could see it, you know, coming off on my coffee cup, when I went and looked in the mirror, there was still a surprising amount of pigment left. Like, this lipstick is very pigmented and very creamy, but even when it's transferring, you're still left with some pigment behind. You aren't just completely losing your lipstick. I'm thinking of the Well People Optimist lipstick. I have that one in the shade Oh Meow, which is a pretty deep berry color, and that one transfers a lot on me, but it fades a lot on me. Whereas this one transfers a lot, but it doesn't fade as much. I'm normally a very low maintenance lip kind of girl. Like, I don't like things that transfer a lot, but I am impressed by how well it wears, I guess, given the fact it's so creamy and transferring. And also, I do like how comfortable it is. Like, it is a very comfortable lipstick, lip gloss, lipstick and lip gloss combination to wear all day long. So there is that going for it. And the lip gloss is weird. When you pull the doe foot applicator out, it's like kind of stringy looking, which makes you think it's going to be really sticky. But it's almost more, I know this is going to sound funny, but it's almost more like balmy. It's not as sticky. It's more like you put a lip balm on. It's more kind of like a slippery, balmy feeling, which I think is better than a sticky feeling. So it's just interesting. It's not my favorite lipstick formula. Probably is not going to make it into my top lipstick formulas, but do I dislike it? No. So it's kind of weird in that way. It's not my favorite, but it's not terrible either. It's just not my preference. But if you like these really creamy, really hydrating, really comfortable lipsticks, then you might want to check these out. And I do think it's kind of cute that it comes with a lip gloss and a lipstick. My one, I guess, suggestion to PYT Beauty on this would be the lipstick and the lip gloss are more or less the same color. What I would have done is make the lip gloss a little lighter in shade to actually brighten. Because if you watch, you know, makeup artist or whatever, typically what they do is like, will apply a darker lipstick or lip liner to like the outer portion of the lips, and then use a little bit of a lighter shade kind of in the middle portion to highlight the lips, make the lips look more full, but because these are the same shade, you can't really do that. You can do it a little bit with the fact that the lip gloss just is more light reflecting, which is kind of how I've used it today, where I really focused it like in the center of my lips to kind of make my lips look more full. But it would be nice if the shade was a little bit lighter. I think that would make that effect work even better. Not bad, not my favorite, just kind of on it. If you've tried any of the PYT products, let us know in the comment section down below. Let us know what you think, what products you tried. Yeah, and let me know what your thoughts are on this brand. They've put out a lot of products for a brand that really just launched in 2018, so it's quite interesting and quite impressive. So let me know all of that in the comments section down below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also check out my Instagram. I'll have my handle down below. I'm at naturallybeautifulgirl. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!